before Thanksgiving, and I work tomorrow at 5:30 a.m., which is great. Disney is sort of putting on a Thanksgiving, or at least costuming is. So they're gonna provide some food, but since I'm vegan, I'm not gonna be able to eat any of it. So I'm gonna try to make some sticky bun cinnamon roll looking things. We'll see how this goes. Here we go. For the sticky bun recipe, I will be using 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I like the vanilla flavor. And then 3 tablespoons of vegan butter, a 1/4 cup of vegan butter for the filling, and a 1/2 cup for the sticky glaze. 1 packet rapid rise yeast. This comes in a 3-pack. 1 tablespoon of sugar. This is a cane sugar that I will be using. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 2.5 to 3 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. A 1/2 cup brown sugar. Another 1/2 cup for the sticky glaze. This is a coconut palm sugar that I'll be using. 1.5 to 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and then you can also use a 1/2 cup of pecans for the glaze if you want. These are just the tools you'll need. You'll also need a saucepan, some plastic wrap, a baking dish, and bowls of various sizes. Step 1 is to combine 1 cup of almond milk and 3 tablespoons of the vegan butter in a large saucepan until it melts, but doesn't boil. Remove from heat and let it cool. If it is too hot, it will kill the yeast. Just a little nice mixture. And then we're going to put it in this bowl. I think this is cool enough, so we're going to add the yeast to this now. It just says to sprinkle it on, so we're going to leave this for about 10 minutes. So we've let this sit for 10 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see this. You can see a little bit. Just looks like that, which is hopefully a good sign. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm an idiot. I opened this the wrong way. It's fine. I thought it was going to be like a bag inside of the sugar, and it is not. There is a pour thing right here. Is that a good sign? Who knows? This now would lightly foam, and it's like not doing that. It's like clumpy. Did I kill it? We're gonna see. We're gonna do the flour now. I don't know. We'll see. Not going to go well, because normally you have the 1/2 cup and then you keep it in piles on top of it and then you scrape it off like that, but this is both the 1/2 and the 1 measuring cup. some kind of neutral oil, like avocado oil. We're gonna do that after I get this off of my hands. That's not enough. This is gonna be a mess. Take your dough ball. Oh god, he's still sticky. Put him in there. Roll him around. Get him oily. Cover with plastic wrap on the top. That would probably help. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is too small for this. Alright. This is what our dough ball looks like right now. We'll come back to it in an hour. While that's rising, the next step is to make the sticky glaze. So you need a half cup of butter, which is one of these sticks, and then a half cup of brown sugar, but I'm using coconut palm sugar. This is where reading comprehension skills would have been useful. I'm gonna melt this in here first, because it doesn't actually say to do that. It just says mix these two things together. Like, that's gonna make a clumpy mess. Let's go lightly melt this. It says to spread it on the bottom of the pan, but I don't know if it wants all of it or just like a little bit of it. We're gonna figure this out. So I think the instructions mean that we put some of this on the pan and then we set this aside for later. I think they forgot to do a step because I'm also supposed to have a filling and you just poof have the filling. So after I make this, I'm gonna make the filling for it. Uses a 1/4 cup of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, brown or granulated sugar, and then also the cinnamon. I guess the filling's supposed to be made right before you're ready for it. It says the butter has to be melted, but it's not. Instead of mixing the butter and the sugar together, you like sprinkle it all on. Yeah, so I can't read the instructions, and for the filling, you melt the butter and then you brush it on, and then you sprinkle the brown sugar or regular sugar and then the cinnamon. So that's why we're making the sticky glaze, but not the filling. It looks like it's rising. I already forgot how much sugar I was supposed to put in here. Absolutely nothing like brown sugar. So brown sugar is like sticky, so you're supposed to pack it into the cup, but this is not sticky. How about you not? We're gonna do the best we can, which is what we've been doing the whole time. Alright, that's good enough. Oh, that's supposed to look like that. It's a little weird. Maybe I add more sugar? I don't know. We're going, living the dream. So I have an 8x8" cake pan from the Target. I guess prep this. Oh, that's weird. Don't like that. I feel like this is not what it's supposed to look like. Like the sugar didn't melt or something. It's been an hour, so are you ready to see this? Look at that. Our jiggly boy. Get off. The next step is to roll the dough into a thin rectangle. I didn't have a rolling pin, so I decided to use one of the cups that they provide us with. In the middle of rolling, I realized there was a hole in the center and I would have to start all over again. Brush the dough with a half cup of the melted vegan butter and top with half cup of brown sugar and 1/2 to 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Tightly roll the dough with the seam side down. Then with a serrated knife, cut the dough into 2-inch sections. Then realize that you haven't rolled it tight enough and redo some of them. Cover them with plastic and set on top of the oven while you preheat it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This should make about 10 rolls. So I figured out what I did wrong. I was not supposed to melt the butter to make the filling. I was just supposed to mash the brown sugar into it and put that in the pan. And when I melted the butter, that made it too liquidy, which is why it didn't work. So after it came out of the oven, I did try to glaze a little bit of it on the top and then put it back in for a few seconds just so it would melt. And it's more of a sweet bread than a sticky bun, but the bread dough is fine. I just completely messed up the sugar involved part of it because the roll itself isn't even that sweet. I don't think I put enough sugar in because the coconut is different than brown sugar. So that was my singular adventurous baking. I hope you do better than I did.